Believe it or not, there's a lot more to these skunks than just being stinky and smelly. They're really quite fascinating animals, and we want to make sure we keep them around. I'm going to talk about some facts about skunks that you may never have thought of or never knew. But first, let me share with you a recent experience I had with a wild skunk. Look over there, you see that? That's a skunk. A beautiful skunk. Keep my distance, but I'm going to get just a little bit closer to see. This little guy was just so busy doing his own thing that he didn't even notice me at first.
But they have really good hearing and really good smell. They don't have great eyesight, so it's understandable. But he still hasn't spotted me yet, which is interesting.
Here I've sped up the footage just so you don't have to see me just walk and walk.
So this particular Skunky has a lot more white on the top of him, and it looks like he's wearing like a little white vest or something. But other than that, I mean, he's got a lot of white, but not every skunk looks like this. They have different patterns, and sometimes they have a lot more black than white, sometimes they're almost all white.
Skunks are typically nocturnal animals, which means they're awake mostly at night. I got lucky for this, being able to see him during the daytime. Skunks don't travel in packs or herds. They usually forage by themselves, unless during wintertime they all kind of gather into a communal den, like a big fuzzy warm ball, keeping each other warm. Okay, let's turn the camera around and you can see how close I really am to this skunk. Look how close I am to this skunk. Gotta be extra quiet. Look at it.
I would personally not recommend doing this and going as close as you possibly can to a skunk, because if you scare the skunk, he's definitely going to spray you if you're as close as I am right now. I'm about 15 feet maybe away from him.
He decided I wasn't a threat and went back to his own business.
So, did you know, here's a fun fact for you. So skunks can actually reach up to 20 feet with their spray. I got within 15 feet of the skunk, so technically I was in the danger zone, so living on the edge, right? What I thought was interesting was that he hissed at me, so I didn't realize how much like cats they actually are. If you ask these people that have skunks as pets, they'll probably tell you this. Yeah, when he turned and faced me and he finally saw me after I got 15 feet from him, he hissed at me like a cat would hiss at you, like a mad cat. It was a warning hiss, like, hey, you know, back off, buddy. I don't know what you are, what you're planning on doing with me, but, you know, yeah. So, a misconception about skunks is that the first thing they do when they see you or when you get close to them is they spray you. Because a lot of people have that experience because they scare them, they surprise them, they are aggressive towards them, whatever. The skunk ends up thinking, hey, I'm going to be eaten, I got to spray to protect myself. So what I found out, which is really interesting, is that skunks will not spray first as their resort. Yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting, how that behavior was shown. And I had firsthand experience with it, which was really exciting. I was like fascinated with seeing this skunk. That was the closest I've ever been to a skunk, and it was really, really cool experience. So, you ever had a close encounter with a skunk? I would love to hear people's stories and, you know, hear what happened to you. Hopefully you didn't get sprayed. I heard a story from a animal control officer the other day. I'll tell you that in a second. Story I heard from the animal control officer was she actually got sprayed by a skunk. I think she was doing an animal removal service for the county or for somebody, and she actually saw the green stuff come out of the skunk. So I didn't know that was an actual thing. So even no matter how many facts you know about animals, you always can learn something new. So I thought that was pretty gross, actually. You could see the green coming out, you know, hitting you. She said it smelled for weeks and her coworkers didn't want to be anywhere around her. So I thought that was memorable, I'm sure, experience for her. But I'm glad I didn't have that route in my experience. I did learn that skunks have a route that they take on a daily basis or, you know, on a weekly basis. I'm not sure. Just like people, we have typical things that we do every day. Like we brush our teeth, we wake up in the morning, we make our beds. Well, most of the time we make our beds. And, you know, we do little routines. So for these guys, the skunks, they have their own little routines that they do. So this guy probably has a route that he takes every day, or, you know, goes a certain time of day to certain places. We learn things every day, and it's kind of really neat because even an expert in nature or animals species can learn something from these animals, even skunks. So do you know why skunks are black and white? Well, I think God did. I think God designed the skunk with black and white because it's warning colors. A lot of animals and even insects in nature will have striking colors or contrasting colors to deter predators from eating them or to distract them so they can escape. So I thought that was really neat about skunks. First of all, they're kind of cool looking with their white and black stripes, you know, not matching any of their surroundings. They're like, hey, this is me, I'm right here, you can see me. But yeah, it's a warning sign to predators. Hopefully they'll heed it. And did you know that skunks are also very good at eating ticks and other bugs that people don't really like hanging around? So in a sense, they are good to keep around.
Fun facts about skunks. Mama skunks typically have 1 litter of babies or kits a year, around mid-May to June, and anywhere from 2 to 10 babies. They are all born naked, but their striped patterns are easily seen. When baby skunks are born, their eyes are closed until about they're 21 days old. Then it's time to go adventuring with their mom and foraging. Baby skunks can actually spray from day 1 of birth, but they're not accurate with their spraying or strong enough until they're about 4 months old. You'll often see the cute little skunk trains, toot toot, as the babies follow their mama single file. So cute. Skunks reach maturity at 10 months, but alas, a lot of skunks don't actually survive their first full year because of harsh weather conditions, diseases, unfortunately automobiles, predators, etc. Apart from that, they do live up to 3 years. You know, growing up, I always thought they lived a lot longer than that. When winter approaches, it's pretty commonplace for skunks to take over an abandoned burrow from foxes or alike animals like coyotes or whatever, especially during winter when they are caring for their offspring. They cram the tunnels full of dried leaves, which give them good insulation during the cold hibernating months. Yes, skunks do hibernate. During the summer, skunks often live in hollow logs, under structures such as barns or sheds, and in piles of wood. Okay, so what do skunks eat? Well, they're opportunistic omnivores, that's a mouthful, which means they'll pretty much eat anything they can get their claws on. Most of their diet consists of worms, grubs, beetles, grasshoppers, bird eggs, small rodents, frogs, fruits and berries, mushrooms, and unfortunately sometimes an occasional trash can contents. They have large, sensitive noses that are great for smelling out food, sharp, strong claws for digging, and cat-like teeth great for chomping down on whatever they find. Here's a fun one for you. So when a skunk is frightened or threatened, the first thing they typically will do is hiss, similar to that of a cat's hiss, or they'll growl, spit, shake their tail, stomp the ground, or even fluff their fur. If the threat does not leave, then the skunk will turn and lift. That part you don't want to stick around for. Woo-wee! I hope you've learned some cool, crazy facts about this uniquely misunderstood and understated creature. Please take a moment to check out and help us in supporting Elizabeth from Foxtails Wildlife Rehab located here in Virginia. They provided some of the beautiful up-close videos of skunks they had actually rescued, so we were able to share a closer look at these beautiful animals with you. You can support them by their social media, on Patreon, or their Linktree. I'll provide those all below the video. Please help support the wonderful hard work that they do. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more awesome animal content just like this, and other nature videos as well. We appreciate your support with this passion of ours, and we hope you learned something too. Have a super blessed day!